Here we go, guys. Astrea in the top left. And we have Solar in the bottom right. All right, excellent. Excellent. Should be a really interesting one. I think Solar is probably slightly favored, but I like Astrea. I like the way he looks at this game, so it should be a fun one. And here we go. Looks like he wants to go up for possibly a hatch block, but Solar going to go ahead and... No, I guess he's not. Yeah, no, he brought his drone down, so he is... Yeah, he's going to pull that drone back and make the hatch. Yeah, okay, so there was a little micro going on there. Solar was checking if that hatch block was, in fact, coming. And it was, so he just went back, made it. Holds off on other production till then. Yeah, a lot of ZVP today, for sure, in this bracket. It could actually continue forward like that as well. That is definitely a possibility. If this ends at the right time and we can get Clem versus Max Packs, we'll probably jump over to that, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes down. Probe right now, just kind of microing around. Yeah, Nexus goes up at the natural. Cybernetic score, guys. That is PvZ in this matchup. Like, there are a few builds that are really interesting where you actually can see things happen, but like, I'm so sick of waiting for the cybernetic score to finish. Why do we have 12 workers? Stargate. Okay. Okay. The true beginning of the game is just Cybernetics core and pool to finish. Kind of, yeah. Well, I was mentioning before, right? In Age of Empires, they have this thing where the early game is interesting and does have things going on, but not. It's like they're a bit complex and whatever, right? So Red Bull came in and made this tournament where you start with like 27 villagers and you start in the second age or whatever. So like literally as soon as the game starts, you're building a ton of shit and like sending army across the map. And I thought that was a really interesting idea. And I honestly wouldn't mind seeing some equal positions created for all the matchups and starting players there. So you would cut out like the first, let's say 4 minutes of the game, right? I feel like something like that for StarCraft 2 could be very cool. I am a bit too lazy to get something like that going, but I do think it sounds... It sounds to me like something I would like to try to cast and watch and see if I like it. Because, I mean, the part of the reason they made it 12 workers, which, again, by the way, was the worst fucking change that ever happened to this game, was the 12 worker start. It was fucking wrong and terrible. You know, I'm actually going to make a YouTube video on that. And, like, I've talked about it before a lot, but I'll go in depth with it at some point here. Anyways, yeah. So, I don't know. I think it would be interesting to see the game actually speed up because the 12 worker start didn't actually do it. It made the entire game mineral focused. It made gas much less valuable because you have so many fucking minerals at the beginning of the game. You just but it doesn't really move faster, right? It's like literally what have we, you know, there's not that much action in the early game. It's like you kind of get 3 bases and some upgrades, and then you start attacking each other for the most part. Anyways, I think it would be interesting. I think it would be cool. If someone does end up making that, I think it'd be a cool mod to make. All right. Game is picking up a little bit here. Blink on the way. Forge as well. We have the Roach Warren as well as a layer coming up. Nothing too fancy happening. Excuse me right now. Right? Nothing like super creative from either player. We'll see if Astrea commits heavily to an attack coming up here. Looks like he's getting ready for a fourth. The fourth base has already started here for Solar on the right-hand side of the map. Here comes that little poke that we've seen so many times. All right. Cleaning up some of these creep tumors, putting some damage on some queens. Backing up a little bit. He does have that that emergency break glass in case of emergency stasis ward back there. Things falling too much, he can just fall back to that. Throws another one down. I like it very much. Starting to pick off some of these queens and whatnot. Huh, that was interesting. I think Solar knows that there's multiple stasis wards there. He's being careful about it. And Astrea actually chases those Lings further back than I would imagine. Yeah, the Ling's not really able to find very much here, are they? Does a good job mostly clearing them. Good scout overall from Solar. All right, so this is actually starting to get cool now. So right now, Astrea is getting that fourth base, but look at what he's choosing to do tech-wise. Okay, he's making another Oracle. He's getting charge. He's adding gates. He's adding a Forge. Look at what Solar is up to. Solar's on 4 base, and he's content. Okay? He's a minimalist here. He's going Hive. He's going Lurker. He wants to be cost-efficient. Very, very different strategies from both sides. So Astrea absolutely has this window where he's going to be very dangerous. He has the extra gates finishing. He's going to have charge finishing. So this is where Astrea needs to get some value. This is where Solar needs to actually block that value and then get his units out that basically make Astrea's comp into a pile of garbage. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. You see those Hydras added in. He's trying to hold this. You can see Astrea being as efficient as possible. He warps in some Zealots at home. Gonna hopefully bring those up. It looks like the Ling counterattack is maybe gonna slow him slightly. Look at how these Zealots have to go over to deal with that. I really like that from Solar. This actually buys him a lot of time. Ooh, just barely gets that. But that buys him a lot of time. Like, that could be 8 Zealots up here right now in front of this army, which would be really, really scary. Now, more Stasis Wards going down, making sure that those are not too close to those Lings. Lurkers are already being made. So, I think Solar is... Like, right now, you look at this game, you're like, yeah, Astrea is killing it. You know, and obviously his cost efficiency is through the roof. But that is actually about to change. It's going to turn on its head. Because he's not going to be able to attack in anymore. There's going to be 6 Lurkers here in a second. And Lurkers, like, look at this. The Stalkers just can't do anything against that. All right, Lotta's charge lots coming in towards that 4th base. This is a really important moment because Astrea's trying to attack 2 different locations. So the Lings come up. They do push everything back a bit. Yeah, he does a very good job pushing that back. But here is Astrea on the other side. Reveals those Lurkers and gets in on top of everything. Ooh, painful there. A lot of damage for Solar. But again, this is exactly what we need to be seeing, right? Solar needs to cost efficiently stop this stuff, and Astrea needs to try to get some damage because his tech is just so bad against Lurkers. All he has right now is mobility, right? Mobility and a better economy, I would say. Well, I guess it's the same economy right this second, but it'll be better in a moment. More charge lots coming in. He does have the double robo and support bay coming up as well. All right, charge lots infiltrating into the main base here. You can see how the lurkers are starting to really shred things like these zealots. The spine actually screwing up their AI quite a bit. Really, really good placements that you see here from Solar. Got to be so careful against these lurkers. Lurkers just splattering everything. Now Solar's starting to push across the map. Notice how Solar's maxed out, right? He's been 4-base this entire time. Like, Astrea hasn't had any problem getting the types of things that he's wanted this game, but Solar held on well enough to get into this position now. And look at this. Forces these back with a tiny amount of units, like just a group of Lings forcing the Disruptors back. And now he's going to be able to kill a base and 3 robos. Solar crushing right now. Fantastic plays from Solar. Okay, so where does Astrea go from here? He's remaking robos. Getting more upgrades. Okay, he's getting his +2. Okay, cool. Doing a counterattack. I don't see lurkers. There's one morphing right there. Actually cancels the morph out. Okay, this counterattack doing a fantastic job. Now, he lost a lot of probes at that 3rd base location, but he has his 4th. He has his 5th up. His probe count is still fine at 60. That's a very playable number. You don't leave the game on 60 probes. Kills off this hatch. Solar's on 3 base. He's making a 4th, but he's on 3 base right now. Some high-quality things going on. This is a sick game right now. And I love the 2 completely different styles butting heads. Absolutely love it. Okay, so it looks like Solar might have been trying something a little sneaky there, like run a lurker up and kill a bunch of probes. Doesn't seem like that's going to work. The double Robo Immortals, very, very nice play. Psystorm on the way, getting plasma shields as well. He's got to be careful not to lose those stalkers. Those are incredibly crucial. Has another group going around towards the new 4th base for Solar. This is a very tight game. Really excellent maneuvering from both sides. 2 of the world's best here. All right, some good spines right there. He's got a lot of oracles. Not quite enough to kill off the Hydras. But if the Hydras start to fall, the Oracles actually could wipe the army. Still just working on his maneuvering a bit. Really, really good map awareness here. Astrea moving that army out of the way. If he loses any chunk of his army, that's going to be absolutely terrible for him. He needs to have these different pieces around. It looks like he will lose the Stalkers, by the way, that were in the bottom left. Solar will catch up to those while he's microing up here. So nice move. Oh my god, didn't even see that 3rd base getting picked here with charge lots. Looks like a massive attack at the new 4th base. Oh, that is a problem. He is going to have to use a recall there. Dude, this is bad. This is bad right now. All right, looking like he does want to kill another Solar base. Oh, God. Oh, God. Come on, Immortals. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, 4 Immortals come down. Too little, too late, unfortunately. With Psystorms, they will be able to clean this, though. Kills another base. hits the recall. Okay. Dude, this game is insane right now. This is the craziest game. So much of this is just about army movement. All right, that new base looks like it should be canceled. Well, he's getting aggroed into the actual army here. The Immortal's coming up to fight. Yeah, turns on those oracles for the fight, but too many Hydras in the back, actually. I didn't see those either as he turned those on to fight. If those Hydras hadn't been in the back, that would have been a wipe for him, but instead, everything going wrong here for Astrea at the very end. This is like a crazy, crazy attack here from Solar, who has very little mining going on, actually, right now. There is an attack at his third, by the way, and I'm not sure what it is. We have these Stalkers doing a great job against Solar, but yeah, also a Lurker in the back line there. Oh, God, no detection. Uses up his shields, loses one of his last High Templars in this game as well. Oh, man, bad stuff here for Astrea. Astrea going to be barely mining now and taking so much damage. Look, once again, taking massive, massive damage from those Lurkers. Just no Observer. If he had had an Observer there, this whole game would have looked different. Well, really, we can say that about so many points in this game. It's been such a tight, close, back-and-forth game. Okay, it looks like this is Astrea's final attack. He will get cleaned up here, and we should be seeing a GG. There's just nothing left for our Protoss player. Super close game. Really well played by both sides. The Probe's even coming in for a little bit of a fight, but yeah, not going to be enough, unfortunately, here for Astrea. Excellent, excellent fight, though. Excellent game. Really, absolutely could have gone either way. GG. And Solar takes game one. Dude, that was superb.
Lorfa just resubscribed for 21 months.
Thanks, Lorfa. Do I think the acquisition of Blizzard by Microsoft could change something for the StarCraft 2 scene? I think that it literally can't get worse than Blizzard ownership has been for the last few years. So it's definitely an improvement. I think it's going to be too little and too late. As I've said countless times, I am expecting Stormgate to completely replace StarCraft 2. I think all the pros are going to switch over. All the fans are going to switch over. I've said this so many times. While shade thrown at Activision, there's no that you can't throw shade at something that is purely dark and evil. Do I feel Stormgate is moving in the right directions, though? The one thing I'm worried about with Stormgate is they've been so transparent with the scene. The scene, like, wants to know what's going on, and they've given so many updates. I've never seen such transparent game production, ever. And people are literally too low IQ to realize what they're looking at is an unfinished alpha. And so people just talk shit on it all the time. And it's like, oh, I guess it's not good to give people what they ask for, which is seeing what the game looks like. Because it's a fucking alpha, but people are literally that stupid. So that's my only concern, is people suddenly have a negative opinion about a game that wasn't finished. I only have sane takes, bro. All right, here we go. Halcyon. Top right, we have Astrea. And bottom left, we have Solar. All right. Dude, that game was great. That was a great, 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 great game. I'm so happy with how that game went. Ooh, what's Solar doing here? Little Goldie base? Goldie gold? All right. There we go. Love to see it. Definitely going to make the game more interesting. We'll see if it's just going to be Adept Oracle trying to work on this or not. All right. Well, this is cool. Okay, so I know that this is not off the cuff. I know that Astrea, the type of player he is, the type of mind he has, he probably like labbed this already, but it looks like he's going to do a cannon rush, a one-base cannon rush here. Solar has no idea. He does not have vision of this as of yet. His drones are going to go around and not be too happy with what they see. He cancels. Get wrecked. Oh my God. Craziness. All right. Well, I got to say, that was worth it. That was worth it. 100%. Canceling a hatchery that was just about to finish, and then you just cancel your cannons, make your Nexus. Dude, that feels fantastic for Astrea. I think Astrea is definitely in a better position right now.
Anonymous donated $13.37.
Oh, thank you.
Hey Artosis,
Yo.
I was a Warcraft 3 fan and your and tasteless amazing casting in WCG 2009 was what got me into Up the Good Work and BTW.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you were talking about when we casted Warcraft 3, because that was like a comedy cast. But yeah, thank you. I'm glad that you enjoy, and appreciate it, man. Thanks for the big tip. Thanks for watching. And fuck Protoss for sure. All right. So, like, the game in many ways is looking similar. I love the recall. I love the recall on those. That's awesome. What a great save. The game is looking kind of similar to a regular PvZ, except we had that weird opening of the cannon rush canceling out the gold base. A lot of lost mining time there. Definitely looks like Astrea's advantage still. I love that recall again on those two adepts. I think that was fantastic. Looks like he finally does lose that pylon over there, which is fine. Does supply block him momentarily. Oracle going to be coming out. And yeah, kind of wait for this Oracle to come across the map and see if we can get some damage with it. Pushes it away. Yeah, a couple queens in the main. Doesn't seem like there's much room here for harass. The spore well placed at the natural. Pulls the drone slightly. Loops around towards the main again. I mean, good patterns. Good patterns he's trying, right? He's kind of like harassing as much as he can. Gets a couple drones. Okay, there you go. There's the money. Great save from Solar. Great save. All right. Very, very good play on both sides. This is what a nice game this is. I love that Astrea actually is the level that he can put out these absolutely fantastic games. I actually wonder what Astrea's actual standing as a non-Korean is in the scene. I'm like, in my opinion, I put him very highly, personally. I think he's an absolutely excellent player. Like, I honestly think he's one of the best Protoss in the world. I'm trying to think in my head, like, where I would actually rank him. He hasn't had that, like, the big breakout land yet, so hard to say exactly. So Astrea right now getting his charge upgrade here. Warping quite a few zealots. Kind of an interesting way to go about this. Nice pickoff there. Really, really good pickoff. +1 in charge are going to be finishing up. So the Lings are going to get really super, super shredded. +1 zealots, of course, 2-shotting Lings. Makes for a hard time. I like the 1 Oracle turn on there, not to waste too much energy. Forces those Lings back from Solar. Baneling Nest on the way. Very good call on that Baneling Nest. If he didn't get the Baneling Nest, like, he might just straight up die to Zealot Archon. Okay, he knows what's going on. Charge +1. Zealots, Archons, Warp Prism. Very scary attacking coming, but a bunch of Roaches being made, which is, you know, a big step in holding this. And, of course, as the Baneling Nest finishes off, that'll be incredibly powerful against those Zealots. Great harass so far from Astrea, as you can see. Ton killed off. Nice little warp in. Yeah, you can see how bad Lings are in this situation. We'll want to make a few Banes, though, for sure. Charge Lots is worse than Nightmare. All right, little drop off in the main base with the Prism. It doesn't really have anything else to hit at the same time. That was more of a little peek and poke. All right, so that is an absolutely wild amount of Banelings that are being made right here. Okay, these stasis wards are so killer. He has to be so careful. He sees them, of course, with this Overseer. Great micro, great micro. All right, sends forward a small group to get rid of one of them. If he gets like half his army frozen, that could lose him the game. So he's got to be careful. Going about this very methodically. He actually gets more frozen there than really he should have, but that's okay. Continues forward now. Dude, that Archon is, like, stacked. That's really weird looking. Okay, some Zealots being warped in there at that 4th base. Oh, my God. The Banelings actually did not do that much. And Solar is gonna GG. Astrea gonna take game number 2. Bringing us to game 3.
Don't Defense just gifted 1 sub. You are the man. www.
Thank you, Don't Defense.
Don't Defense just gifted 1 sub. You are the man. www.
Thank you, Don't Defense.
www. Guy in chat
maybe at some point,
206 just resubscribed for 18 months. 7,777,777,777. Oh God. I'm not reading that entire number. That's huge.
Okay.
Dog Defense just gifted 1 sub. You are the man. www.
Thank you, Don't Defense.
www.
All right, guys, we got game number 3 here. Astrea in the top right of Ghost River, and Solar in the top left. Okay, so let's think here for a second. Very dynamic games. Some very different builds coming out from them. Seems like honestly, both games, Astrea opened better than Solar, I would say. Not that Solar opened terribly. You know, obviously the gold base getting canceled kind of sucked, but in game 1, I did feel like it was a slightly better opener by Astrea, but not by a huge amount. So far, very well thought out openers. So that's good. That's important. I think that's important. And obviously, that sounds very obvious and very stupid, but I think that there are certain matchups. Okay, so look at it this way, right? I don't want to say favored, but like there's a race that has more control in a matchup, right? Like the race where they're kind of putting a clock on you. And that would be Zerg generally in this matchup, right? So I think that when you look at something like that, it's like it's easier for maybe like if Protoss doesn't have a strong opener, shit can spiral pretty quick, right? So I think that that's what I'm trying to figure out how to put into words correctly here. But yeah, like just getting a very, very solid opener, making sure you're not behind or maybe you're slightly ahead there. Incredibly important. And Astrea putting out 2 great games here so far. Of course, Solar, I think, playing just superbly in game 1. Excellent, excellent defense into his lurker play. Definitely could have gone either way, though. Now, Stargate is on the way. Probe still trying to scout. Doesn't technically see the hatchery. Starts up just as they chase him out of there. All right, Oracle on the way. And we're doing this, you know, the little poke in here with the Adepts. Now, let's see if he actually, yeah, doesn't finish the shade there. I think that was definitely a good call. He'll probably send another couple shades. I don't know if he's going to finish them, though. Right? This is something we were talking about earlier when casting Trap. Is like you wanna pair them with the Oracle, kind of. Like, if you can have 2 things going on at once, you have a higher chance of getting some damage. Whereas we saw Trap, for instance, just suicide them in. Of course, he did end up losing to Wayne, who Astrea has beat. Now Astrea versus Solar. So definitely showing some better PvZ than what we've seen from Trap so far. Of course, he did just get out of the military, so we'll give him some time. Try to come back. Ooh, good micro there from Astrea. Thought he might lose both for a second. But Wiggles out. Lose a 1 stalker there. Not the end of the world. Still going after that Overlord. Yeah, needs to make sure not to lose any more. You know, Blink on the way. We'll kill off this Overlord, so that's nice. Melee attack for Solar. Making a nice little plume of lings there. See what he actually does with them. It seems like he wants to maybe try to catch these. Blink is not done, so actually he has some potential to, but normally Astrea brings the Oracles with those, the 4 Stalk or 2 Adept type of push that he does. Yeah, very nice to have his queens out there already as well. Gets 1 Stalker, puts some serious hull damage on a couple, as well as the Oracle. Gets that very low indeed. Yeah, not that effective. I think 3 probes there. That's not a particularly good trade for that many lings. Solar though is taking a 4th. Okay, getting his Roach Warren. +1 melee, gonna be done relatively soon. Yeah, we're only on 4 warp gates at the moment, so this is not a very heavy dedicated attack, right? Like, you generally want 6 gates with this. More if you're gonna all in. So yeah, he's going up to 7 gate. Keeping that supply nice and high. Bunch of roaches on the way here. Now, is Solar gonna try to rocket ship up to Hive once again and go Lurker? Because he did win that first game that was like that, but he's getting a Baneling Nest here. This kind of looks more like a, I don't know, like a Ragnarok-esque attack might be coming up. You know, like a mass Ling, Roach, Ravager, Baneling attack. These massive attacks he does that like knock down 4ths or 3rds very, very quickly. Yeah, I think that is what we're probably going to end up seeing here from Solar. Solar's actually very good at that too. You know, I guess I'm pointing out other players, but honestly, many of Solar's best games are more aggressive builds like this. I actually had a chat with State about that a couple years ago when he was filling in for Tasis one day, about how it was funny to see Solar go from, like, he had very good results for a little bit, then he had very mediocre for a long time when he was playing a more defensive style for a long time, and then got kind of more aggressive again and started to get those results back a bit. So a very aggressive attack coming out now. Morphing Banelings in his face. That's kind of weird to see. But brings over this Oracle, turns it on, and yeah, he's going to unmorph. That was a weird choice. Banelings coming in from the other side. Dude, those Banelings were sick. Those were sick Banelings coming in from the side. Excuse me, gets everything really, really low here. The Oracle being an absolute hero. More Lings coming up, more Stalkers being warped in, and of course the overcharge there making a big difference as well. Solar backing up. Okay. Twice the army supply at the moment. Does that matter when it's Roaches? Well, there's Lings and Banes in there too, right? And those are, Banes are one of the most supply efficient units in the game, whereas Roach is one of the most supply inefficient. So, the dichotomy of the Zerg army. Void just catching some coming out into the center. All right, here we go. Gigantic attack coming in right now from Solar. The Banelings rolling in, but go around an Archon for a bit. Unpower a lot of shield batteries, but there's another overcharge there in the main line. The overcharge doing a fantastic job. So many Stalkers left over. It looks like Astrea is going to be able to stomp this attack By the way, it's only 63 drones at home, so Solar's dead. Okay, he kills the 4th base, and that was important, and he had to do that to have any chance. But honestly, looking at these armies, it's garbage left over for Solar, truly. Garbage. He's like just remaking Roachling Bane. And we have mass Blink Stalker with +2 attack coming across the map. It definitely looks to me like it's going to be an Astrea victory. Psystorm on the way. High Templars as well. This is a great move. I love this move from Solar. Needs to, you know, it feels like he's in trouble, but he needs to make moves like that, which will allow him the potential to come back, right? If you just let your opponent just take a 4th and, like, mine from it while he's pressuring you, you're screwed. Forcing cancels, it's like, okay, you know, we're working our way back into a position that might become winnable. Void Ray still being highly annoying up here. Little attack up at the wall of Astrea. Ooh. That's going to be annoying to deal with. Yeah, Ling's all over the place. Look at this. He's morphing a Bane as well. Canceling this 4th. Dude, this is a great move from Solar. Now, those Storms, fantastic. Most of the Banelings don't connect with anything at all. So very, very big Psystorms there, but 17 probes plus another cancel. Dude, so well played from Solar. So excellently played. The fact that he has canceled that 4th base like 4 times now, and he also got the Lings in to kill probes in the main. Super, super annoying. Hard to clean up, right? Taking a lot of attention from Astrea. Astrea's unable to apply real heavy pressure and deal his own damage across the map. Really fantastic plays. This is a beautiful series, Solar versus Astrea. Absolutely awesome. All right, Hive and Lurker Tech coming up. Prism for Astrea. What a series we're having between these two, truly. I love leaving the depth there as well. Very, very nice. Stray with a couple groups around the map. You know, Solar's taking his 5th. He's droned it up. Is that an area where Astrea wants to commit an attack? Like, actually go in and fight. Has an army down here. I think he might... Does he think it's like bottom left corner? I guess the observer should see the creep on the high ground, so he definitely should know about this. Pretty decent job with this army, kind of softening up those units on the side. But his main army, I think, needs to come down. Nice catch. Nice catch. Very annoying. I feel like if he moves in with his main army, he has a reasonable chance of breaking it, that 5th base. Breaking that 5th base is super crucial right now. All right, comes down, blinks on top of some of this army. There are Lurkers on the way right now. I feel like this is like a little bit late. Like maybe Astrea isn't as sure of his position as he should be. And look at that. Those Lurkers just barely finished. I really do think he had potential to kill that 5th. Like when he was battling down at 6 o'clock. When he was like storming that Ling Roach army. If he had brought the rest of his army down, he could have either flanked that army or hit the 5th base, I think. Could have been a very good move. Of course, you know, easy to say as the all-seeing eye here, seeing the entire map. Still, it felt like that was maybe a situation to get himself into a very close to this game is over position. Now we have a lot of Lurkers. Now, here's the problem with this. The last time there was a lot of Lurkers, it was 4 base Solar against 5 base Astrea. Right now, it's 4 base Astrea against 5 base Solar. Now, we're at a different moment within the game, right? A little bit later, a little bit more is mined out and everything. But it still just kind of stands, right? This is a very tough position for Astrea with this type of unit composition to play against heavy lurker. Him getting damage here doesn't seem like a super realistic thing that's going to occur. So right now, like, I thought Astrea was in a position where he would end up winning this game, but it really feels like Solar has fought his way back just absolutely beautifully. You know, canceling those fourth bases multiple times, the Ling run into the natural and main. He was really keeping Astrea busy when he was at a deficit. Just superb counterattacks, superb harassment. And now I'm looking for a way for Astrea to come back in this game. I think it probably involves a lot of very good disruptor hits, because his army is just not super well suited to fighting what Solar has. Solar would have to do a truly awful attack. You got the Rhino Beetle skin on those lurkers. All right, get some good picks there. That's nice. Clears off a little chunk of lurkers, so that's good. Oh no. Cybernetics score gonna go down. Well, I don't think the Cybernetics score actually matters. I mean, it's part of the wall, obviously it does, but yeah, it's not like he wants more stalkers here. Yeah, sees the mothership is on the way. Gonna unpower a bunch of these buildings, unfortunately. Astrea is expanding the bottom right. So new base down there. Doesn't really have probes there yet. Hopefully he can get there pretty soon. Well, that is... like, he cleaned it up on the left-hand side. But, yeah, walking into these lurkers is going to be a little bit tougher. He doesn't have any detection there. Oh, no. If he had one observer, he could have cleaned that. One observer, he could have cleaned that. That is absolutely brutal. Right now, he's making an Oracle to try to tag it. But loses the Nexus now. Lost extra units. Lost extra health. Oh. Heartbreaker. All right, looks like Astrea is trying to do an attack. Those Lings just ravaging his fifth base in the bottom right, killing so many probes here, and likely to lose that Nexus. I think Astrea is going to GG here very, very shortly. His position is really becoming unwinnable very quickly. Okay, he clears the Lings, so you probably stay in. You know, you have these roaming armies that have good Psystorms in them and everything. You do have a mothership out. So, okay, since he saved the Nexus, I think he'll stay a little bit longer. But the fact that Solar's on 6 base now and he's got this many lurkers, this position is not going to become easier to deal with. Some Zealots hit that bottom left. Just a minor annoyance. Clears that pretty quickly. Trying to poke in. Just taking some damage, though, himself. More than he deals with the Psystorms. The lurker's just so difficult to deal with. Oh, he tries to use the cloak. It doesn't even work because there's an overseer there. Tries to target down. Can't do that. All right, this is GG. Astrea losing absolutely everything. Has no real way to engage any of this. He's trying to kite back. He's trying to be highly efficient here. And it's just... it's such a losing battle at this point, unfortunately. He's at half the supply of his opponent. Yeah, look at that one volley to kill an immortal. Oh, man. Solar just looking fantastic. Astrea as well. This is just a great series. You know, Solar is going to end up taking this 2-1. But what a beautiful series, man. I would watch these two play each other all day. Truly. Even for my guys in the chat that are StarCraft 1 fans only and complain about StarCraft 2, you have to look at this series and say this was excellent. Really, really great moves. Really dynamic games as well. Very different positions in all the games. Astrea is still trying to make something happen. Types the G. Exits out of there. Solar gonna advance.
Don't Defense just gifted one sub.
Thanks,
You
Don't
are the
Defense.
man.
I think we already did that one. Thank you very much.